So, I got a playdate. It's a modern handheld which only runs games made for it. It has a special feature being its crank. Developers can make games and even upload them to its own game store. When my playdate arrived, I was actually working on another game, but development was slow and I decided to shelve it for a bit. I wanted to make a short and sweet game for the playdate.
A better variety.
So this game needs a really simple mechanic. Something like Flappy Bird, Super Hexagon or Pong. They can be mainly controlled by the crank. My first more fleshed out idea was that you were a bouncer at a nightclub that had to decide which people to let in based on the dress code. The inspiration for this game actually came from videos about trying to get into German nightclubs I was watching at the time. Ultimately, I stopped further working on this idea because all of the interchangeable outfits I would have to draw for this game. For my next game, I tried to be more conservative with art assets. Customers would come up to you and order burgers with specific ingredients, which you would have to remember and find in an increasingly bigger and more confusing list. I couldn't really get this to be fun and lost motivation. Funnily enough, after cancelling this project, a very similar game to mine released. A much simpler gameplay loop I came up with was about catching and releasing bullets. The game is basically about prioritizing the right timers and sorting patterns into their buckets.
Good boy's a liar, good boy's a liar. He doesn't see ya. You're not looking at me, boy. Good enough, good enough, good enough.
My problem with enemies that threw bullets and once they catch them were that they are mechanically the exact same and also clustered up the screen. So I separated the screen into 4 different pattern zones. My first issue with randomly spawning enemies was that the actions of the enemies would overlap. Everything is kept to seconds, so it would be impossible to catch a bullet if 2 enemies shot at the same time. To fix this, I added a scheduling system. First, let me explain what enemies do. They spawn in a random direction with a pattern and a timer that counts down to visualize when they fire. If his shot is catched, it stays in the player. The bullet has its own countdown, after which it will shoot again. The player has to let go of the bullet at the right goal with the right pattern. Whenever an enemy or a bullet wants to choose a time to fire, it has to check the schedule if the chosen time is free. If not, it tries an increasingly later time. How far these events can be apart from each other is determined by a variable, which I could change to make the game more difficult. After implementing this approach, I started balancing. It was quickly apparent that balancing the difficulty of this game with just a few values and still getting interesting interactions would be nearly impossible. To make randomness more interesting, you have to introduce more rules, which in turn make it less random. Remembering Devil Daggers, I went with the polar opposite approach. Fully scripted enemy spawns. One of many cool things about this game is that the enemy spawns are the exact same every time. Apparently this is done to keep the online leaderboards fair between all players. The question now is how I'm going to represent the information of the enemy spawns. I am an idiot that basically isn't educated at all about anything more than the basics of programming, so this is my approach. I have a list in which I have lists that represent the individual throwers. They contain values about when they spawn, how long they wait until they fire, how long their bullet waits, which direction they face and what pattern they have. If I want an interaction with a specific direction or pattern, I can define them. If not, their value is random. Having to edit long tables like this would even make Dev kill himself. So I have to find a better way to edit my spawning schedule.
Fuck it, that in a group, oh yeah. Got a pipe full of red, oh yeah. Fuck it, that in a group, oh yeah. Got a pipe full of red, oh yeah.
Introducing the spawning timeline editor. It's a timeline editor in which I can visualize when everything happens. I can also add and edit enemies. When I'm finished, I can export the information as a really long table. I don't know if this is a stupid approach. If you know better, please tell me. I like Pico 8 for small stuff like this, because I know it well and I can make stuff in it very quickly.
One shot, click, 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 reload, reload, reload. 20,000 THB, make a call to Nino. Bustin' Union 6000. I go easy mode. Cheat code, cheat code, cheat code.
The goal of the game is probably going to be to get as far as possible, like in Devil Daggers. Right now I think it should be a 300-second countdown, in which the game just gets really difficult. After 300 seconds you could keep going in a really hard loop in negative time. So theoretically, if you're really good, you can play forever. As progression and incentive to continue playing, I want to add background banners for certain milestones. That's pretty much my progress until now. I'm just gonna work on it until it's finished. My main goal is to add my game to the playdate catalog. Until now, I haven't researched if it's even going to be possible to add my game. I'm trying to make the production of these videos faster, but this video alone took 2 weeks to make for some reason. Making these voiceovers is also making me schizophrenic.
Thank you for playing,
This game was made by Lancebroy 3000.
and see more of me.
LanceBoy3000.com.